Instead of talking about the game first, let's talk about Auburn and what they have to do in Nashville. Here's Stephen Pearl from our friends at WAAY in Huntsville. Trevor Denton up there does a great job. A little post-game reaction from Stephen Pearl on Auburn and after their loss to Alabama Saturday, what they need to do in Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, it's win or go home. I don't know what more urgency you need at this point. We've put ourselves in a obviously a difficult situation, but also, a great situation. We play in the best league in college basketball. It's the deepest league in college basketball. We have, 5 of some of the best wins in the country. We have the best win in college basketball at Florida. If you look at our quality wins, and you look at other teams in the bubble, I don't think those teams get those wins. I just don't. So we've put ourselves in a position to be considered, and I think our resume stands up against anybody's. I'm not sure what the number would be tonight after the game. I don't know if anyone has KenPom pulled up, but I would imagine that we finished 1 or 2 in the country in strength of schedule overall, which is what the committee asked us to do. We played against some of the best teams in college basketball. We went 2-2 against the conference champions of the SEC, the Big East, the Big Ten, and the Big 12, and we didn't play any of those games at home. So we have enough quality wins to be deserving to be in this tournament, but we understand that we got to go to Nashville and we got to make a run just so we don't have to be sweating it out on Sunday. So the urgency is, this could be your last game if we don't find a way to win these ones moving forward.
The problem with that, he keeps using the word urgency, is you watched the Alabama game the other night and they had zero urgency.
Never trailed. Alabama hits their first 6 shots, and such an uncomfortable pregame speech from Steven. It didn't seem like the guys even wanted to. I don't know if you guys felt like that, but watching it, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, you were at the game, so you did not see it, but ESPN showed the pregame speech, and there was zero emotion. Not from Steven. Steven he had emotion, but there was no, all right, let's do it. Nothing. It was like, I don't know how to describe it.
It seems like the guys don't care.
It was almost like, I know he agreed to let ESPN do it, but after the speech, I would not have blamed him for going to ESPN and saying,
please don't play that.
I have changed my mind. Yeah. Will you please not put that on ESPN?
Five turnovers out of the gate, and I tweeted out LeBaron Philon's first 3 minutes of his final home game in Tuscaloosa looks like a Globetrotter skit. He Tahati made fall down on a little shake move and an easy layup, and then he picked somebody's back pocket and laid it in like he was stealing from the Washington Generals.
Hot take here. I think LeBaron Philon will end up having the best career of any Alabama former player.
Oh, wow. That's coming off Colin Sexton hitting 7 threes last night. And Brandon Miller, I think, is averaging 20 a game.
One of the no, I get it. And those are great players. And, we can even go deeper. You look at an overall career like Robert Ory's, obviously winning all the rings. But the most important thing in the NBA is being able to create your own shot. And, my God, that guy in one-on-one situations – He just takes over, and he gets better and better, and he makes the game look easy. So I just think LeBaron at the next level is going to be absolutely incredible. But back to the lack of urgency, I don't understand how one team is locked in at the 2 or 3 in Nashville, and they come out and play their asses off like they wanted it, like they were playing for their tournament lives. And on the other side, Auburn was just so flat. I don't understand a team that has lost 8 of 10 now, that is limping in. It shows you how easy it is to get into the NCAA tournament, that they're still technically in this.
I said the same exact thing on social media, that if ESPN were not showing the records of that game and you just turned it on and it's Auburn playing Alabama, I don't have the records in the graphic there. I don't know who's done what. I would have 100% assurance who was playing for their tournament life. I'm like, well, one team has their hair on fire and one team doesn't. Alabama's playing for their tournament life. Just the opposite.
At home and have to have this win.
At home and they have to have this win. And, boy, they have come out on fire. Look at Alabama earning their way off the bubble. And it was the exact opposite. And it was impossible to believe that was the effort Auburn gave.
Yeah, look, and I had Auburn plus points. I felt good about Auburn in that game. I really did. I thought that game would go to the wire. I thought it would be an incredible game, high scoring.
You didn't have to
Second half, they did have a lot of points, but, they were never in reach.
That was garbage time. It's a 12-point game that was a 30-point game. That is
led by 28, I think, was the highest lead. Hey, cut forward, Tyler. Here's what blows me away, because LeBaron Philon here, is about to tell you how easy it was for Alabama to score in the paint. I mean, that's where Alabama gets beat. They can't. Alabama had 19 more offensive rebounds, or had 19 offensive rebounds. They had 16 more second chance points. They beat Auburn where Alabama usually gets beat. And Philon talked about how easy it was to score in the paint against them.
Y'all had just a ton of layups. It looked like penetration was pretty easy. Can you just comment on what Auburn's defense was trying to do, in your opinion, and how y'all were so easily able to get in the paint?
I don't know what they was trying to do, but just like you said, being able to get in the paint with ease, I think, it kind of opened the game up, as the game grow, and I think, just not being able to just not pressing to score, just dropping hard, looking, if they build out, just try to attack and stay aggressive. And Coach Oats told us that before the game, just stay aggressive because, we hit a lot of threes and people are starting to build out. So just keep driving. And I feel like we did an excellent job with paint points today.
And by build out, that means the defense is extended. It's out on the three-point line, sometimes a step past the three-point line. And Alabama's size at guard, sometimes that's disrupted them at the pass. And the plan was just to dribble past them, pass it past them, and take the short ones and don't settle for the threes. And it worked against Auburn. I don't know if it'll work against some of the best teams in the country, but it worked on Saturday.
Auburn shot 51% on the road. Alabama misses 23s. They missed 9 free throws, and Alabama still up 28 at one point, wins the game by double digits.
Yeah. It was just the effort plays, though. I mean, the score aside, stats aside, we all watched that game. One team gave extreme effort, and one team didn't.
Yeah.
And I just, man, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Auburn. And
yeah, what do you expect even if they get in? They're one and done.
I mean, again, I mean, Jim just told you, and then I followed it up with a stat that nobody on the bubble won, the perceived bubble. The teams we perceive are on or the analysts perceive are on the bubble. I presume the selection committee sits on that last Saturday and watches all those teams. Like, I assume the selection committee's got a list of teams. All right, here are the teams I'm back and forth on. I'm going to watch all these games. If you watched that game, would you have said, hey, here's a team that wants to play for my championship? Not at all. Not at all. Auburn has not looked like that team for a month now, by the way.
Well, and now the situation they put themselves in, a 12 seed in Nashville, and if they're able to make any noise, they got to beat a Mississippi State team that they lost in the regular season. Mm-hmm. They got to beat a Tennessee team that they lost in the regular season. Mm-hmm. Then they got to beat a Vanderbilt team they lost in the regular season.
But of all the paths, LT, I'd rather have that path than having to play Missouri and Florida if I beat Mississippi State, or Georgia and Alabama if I beat Mississippi State, or A&M and Arkansas. Maybe the A&M or Arkansas one, but I mean, Tennessee and Vandy of my choices of the path I have to take to get to the semifinals, I'd rather have the one they got.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of the, like, how long can you stay alive until you get decapitated by Florida? Yeah. I mean, this thing is the Florida Invitation.
No, you're right about that. And if you're on Alabama and Arkansas side of the bracket, it's until Sunday.
Yeah, because Alabama's got a Florida problem.
That's right.
I think everybody's got
a lot of teams have a Florida problem.
I don't know how Kentucky covered that game on Saturday. Absolutely amazing they were able to come back.
What they didn't cover? Hey, Calcium. Or maybe I was on it early enough.
Yeah, I mean, there were some numbers that were 4 to 6.
Yeah.
But it did balloon to 7.5 in a lot of places. You know,
I had it 6.5. Yeah.
For Auburn, you're ultimately going to kick yourself in the ass just losing games to Mississippi State and Ole Miss. You know, it looks like now.
I mean, the bubble's so bad. You're right.
Yeah. One of those games, they're definitely in.
But I mean, do you guys think they got to win the whole thing? They've got to get the auto bid?
No, not now.
On our Hoover Toyota drive-in this morning, I said, obviously you got to beat Mississippi State.
Well, that's
step one. That's another horrible loss. You're 2-8 in your last 10. Even if we were doing the old school last 10, they're 2-8.
Yeah.
With bad losses to Mississippi State and Oklahoma. Now you beat them. You beat Tennessee. And you got a chance.
Yeah, I think
Vandy, it's a better chance. Each win's a better chance. There's no guarantee, though, unless you win it all.
I think one and done, they're done. I think they beat Mississippi State. I think it is really interesting. They probably have a camera down there, down on the plains, watching the reaction.
The win over State gets you a camera. Okay.
I think if they beat Mississippi State and Tennessee, they're in, based on what happened with the bubble this week.
Yeah, I mean, all those bubble teams are are really, really sucking right now.
And let me say this. I mean, of all the bubble teams, I mean, they might be the best.
Yeah.
I mean,
because they've got those wins, but you bring this up all the time. It's been so long since that win at Florida is unexplainable. The way this team has played the last 10 games, to go back and look how they played against Florida in Gainesville, they look like they're different people in the uniforms now.
Well, and Stephen brought that up in the pregame. He was like, you guys are the only team to win in Gainesville. And I guess it didn't really resonate. But I mean, if you
And where did you guys go?
but if you could get that team back. Now, a couple of things. Auburn seemed like they were a different team, and Florida is light years from where they were at that point to where they are right now.
Was that Florida's last loss?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a light switch game for them. Cut one, Tyler. Let's hear from Nate Oats, the actual winning coach in the game this past weekend. And by the way, they still I don't know. I was talking to some of our viewers and listeners at halftime, so I was on the concourse. I don't know if they bring the ODK trophy out to the court anymore, but they do put it up in the lobby. So a very low key with the ODK trophy. But this is Jim Dunaway exclusive video of them actually white gloving the ODK trophy from the.
That's one of those
the
awkward
storage
carries.
Yep.
Like that's got to be a young man, young girl, because
It's heavier than you think.
Oh, I'm sure. And that with the awkwardness of that, that's how you wrench her back.
That's right. That's right. And you never do. Am I the one going backwards? You going backwards?
Yeah,
I'll go back.
Up to the lobby where you see all those yellow signs of slippery and wet.
Yeah.
The hardest downpour I've seen in a long time. Right as soon as I got inside, and then I hear it just.
Yeah, I did a good job on missing the rain all weekend.
Yeah, me too.
I don't know how.
But that's the low key. That's where the ODK trophy was pregame. I don't know. I wasn't there at halftime. I was out on the concourse. Let me know in the chat if they bring it out at halftime still.
They brought the trophy out onto the court at halftime, according to Morgan.
Okay. Dude, the players?
I saw a list of players that were there. It was only like 5 guys. I don't think the full team comes out anymore.
You think if you melted that down, it was worth $5 million? You think there'd be a heist internally?
Yeah.
It's so dark at Coleman. You can get away with it.
I did think the white gloves was
It's a little much.
like they were carrying the Stanley Cup out.
Like, I mean, it would have made more sense if somebody was carrying Nick Saban's umbrella in practice.
Yeah, exactly.
Than the white gloves for the trophy.
Cut one. Here's Nate Oats after the win on just how they approached this win and how it may help them as they move on through March.
They obviously were trying to take away the three-point line. I think we were 11 straight games that hit at least 10 threes in a game, so we didn't get it tonight. But we scored 58 points in the paint. So, and I've said it before, like, people act like, we live and die by the three. That's not it. We play the most efficient basketball we possibly can. Threes are part of it. You get great shooters. You generate the correct threes, and those are great shots. Well, I thought we took some bad ones trying to take threes because they were doing a good job switching, building out, taking us off the line. But we scored 58 points in the paint. So if we'd have made some free throws, we'd have scored 100 on them. We ended up still scoring 75 points at the line and in the paint combined, which is a lot of points. So I thought we came in, flipped some of the stuff that we had issues with in the loss at Georgia. We got to close games. We can't play the scoreboard. Disappointing 15-minute close, but really good first 25 minutes and a lot of the stuff we've been stressing.
Yeah, they I'm not going to say they mentally checked out. I'm not going to suggest that, but certainly Alabama started coasting a little bit. I mean, when they were up 28 and Auburn was showing zero resistance.
They were still trying to score at the end, though.
They were
wanted 100.
They were. He waved Millett on at that one. Did you see that? Yeah. I mean,
I had second half total, so
you really saw that. Yeah, he waved Millett on to the basket there. Now, I think some of that, too, was he was trying to sub guys in. I think a made basket or a foul stops the clock so he can sub guys in. So I don't know that it was
and
all
a made
about
basket. You're closer to 100 points.
I don't know that it was all about getting to 100, but he was trying to get some of the end of the bench guys.
I never see who wins the hard hat. London Jemison, maybe. I mean, look,
I didn't see it this week.
The front court, I mean, Sherelle played well.
He did.
Amari Allen, after his back-to-back kind of wall games we talked about, bounced right back and played at a high level. But I thought Jemison just quality 13 minutes off the bench.
I agree.
Boy, if you give Alabama 58 in the paint, they'll win the national championship.
Yeah.
Give them 58 in the paint the rest of the way.
Yeah, you're going to find teams that are actually going to get effort in the paint.
Yeah.
That's going to be the problem.
They may not get 58 in the paint again the rest of the year.
To Nate's point, they might be able to win games where they miss 20 threes and they don't hit 10 threes, but enable for them to beat elite teams, they've got to hit those threes.
Yeah.